Hello, welcome to Unit 8 Ratios and Proportions, Study Guide Corrections. Number 1, write the ratio 9/7 using the two other forms. So of course we have the 9/7, the given value. We then have 9:7, so 9 to 7, and then we also have 9 to 7 as our other way. So all three of these ways represent the value of 9 compared to 7. Write the ratio 56 to 8 in simplest form. So this is like fractions. We need to simplify down, finding what factors they have in common. So this one has an 8 in common. So our final answer is going to be 7/1. We are not going to simplify this to say just 7 because we are comparing two values right now. This could be 56 girls to 8 boys. Then it's going to be 7 girls to 1 boy. We can't just say equals 7. So this is your final answer. You do not go down to just 7 because that's where it's unlike fractions. Next one, are these two values proportional? So I'm going to write them like this, and I'm going to cross multiply to find out whether they are proportional or not. So 3 times 18 is 54, and 5 times 7 is 35. So these two are not proportional. For them to be proportional, when we cross multiplied, the values had to be the same value, meaning that our ratios are equivalent ratios or equivalent fractions. The next one is 4/6 and 5/8. Again, cross multiplying. 4 times 8 is 32. 5 times 6 is 30. So once again, these are not proportional. And as a reminder, the equal sign with the strike going through it means not equal. Number 5, solving. 2 over 3 is equal to 5 over x. So when we're trying to figure out another piece for the ratio, what we can do for this is I always treat it like fractions. You know, what you do to one side, you do to the other. So for this problem, I'm going to do 5 divided by 2. And that's going to tell me the operation that I used to get to 2 times 5. So if I did, and this equals 2.5, so I can use that information to say now 2 times 2.5 is going to equal to 5, and so I can do the same thing down here. 3 times 2.5. So x will be equal to 7.5. Okay, so 7.5 is what it equals to. Number 6. X over 6 is equal to 9 over 24. So this time, I know that if I say 6 times 4, it equals 24, but that doesn't help me up here. So I need to realize that I need to go the other direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to put 9/24 on this side and x over 6 on this side, just so I can, move toward the variable. They're both the same thing, okay? So if I did 24, I know that 24 divided by 4 is going to equal 6. So I can do the same thing to the top. 9 divided by 4 is going to equal x being 2.25. Okay? If you'd have left it up here, you could have done the same thing. You would have said 6 times what equals that, and you could have divided 24 divided by that. So it's going to be the same thing. I just like having the variable on the right-hand side personally. Number 7, the cost of 5 CDs is $42. So 5 CDs is $42. At this rate, what is the cost of 7 CDs? So I'm going to put 7 CDs over here. and my variable is here. And it says use ratios to solve this problem. So this is what I'm considering the algorithm of ratios. So 5 times 1 equals 7. So I'm going to do in my calculator 7 divided by 5. And that's equal to 1.4. So I'm going to use that same information. 5 times 1.4 equals 7. And then 42 times 1.4 is equal to 58.8. So 7 CDs will cost $58.80. Number 8. On their last trip, the Sanfords averaged 70 miles per hour. So 70 miles per hour. If they drove for 15 hours, how many miles did they drive? So I know that the information I have is 15 hours. So I'm going to put hours down here with hours. And I need to figure out how many miles that could have gone. So I know that 1 times 15 is equal to 15. So 70 times 15 is going to equal the other one. So with my calculator, 70 times 15 is 1,050 miles. Again, you may use a calculator on the test, but you must write your ratio on the paper, your proportion. Okay? All right, number 9. The bakers at Healthy Bakery can make 220 bagels in 2 hours. How many bagels can they bake in 8 hours? What about 10 hours? What was that rate per hour? Use a double number line to solve. So I'm going to go ahead and get my double number line drawn. Let me get my labels, my 0 down. And I'm going to put bagels at the top and hours at the bottom. And I know that in 2 hours, so 2 hours, they can make 220. So they can make 220 bagels in 2 hours. So from there, I want to figure out 8 hours, 10 hours, and the rate per hour. So that's a 1 hour. I'm going to go from here, and I know if I'm going up to 8, 8's going to be about right here. I can say times 4, and I can get 8 hours here, and I can do times 4 here, and 220 times 4 is 880. And then I can also do 2 times 5 to get 10. So 2 times 5 is, 220 times 5 is 1100. And then to go backwards to my unit rate, which means I want 1 hour here. Well, I said 2 divided by 2 to get to 1. And I'm going to do the same thing up there, 220 divided by 2, and that's going to be 110. So presenting this as your double number line will give you all the answers the question's asking. You've given me what 8 hours is. You've given me what 10 hours is. And then you've also given me the rate per hour. So in 1 hour, we can make 110 bagels. I could have also said 1 hour, done this first, 1 hour, and then times 8 to get that, and times 10 to get that. So oftentimes finding the unit rate will be the most easiest thing to do. Number 10, excuse me. An ice cream factory makes 180 quarts of ice cream in 5 hours. How many quarts could be made in 40 hours? So we have this, we have 40 hours, 100 hours, rate per day, which is the unit rate. So using the double number line once again. So again, when you're drawing your double number line, don't forget to label it. It's an important part. So I've got quarts and I've got hours. And my first piece of information is 5 hours, 180 quarts. So 5 hours is 180 quarts. And I want to know how many quarts for 40 hours. So I'm going to go down here a little ways. And I know that's not enough space, but I don't really have any more. So 40 hours is here. Well, how did I get from 5 to 40? I said times 8. So I do the same thing up here with my quarts. So 180 times 8 is 1,440 quarts. And I want to know about 100 hours. So again, mathematically, it's going to be way down there. But I'm just going to go ahead and put it down here. So 100 hours. So I'm going to go 5 times 20 to get to 100 hours. And so I'm going to do 180 times 20. And that's 3,600. And then finally, my rate per day. So I want to find out, ooh, that's a tricky one. Because I didn't, I guess you can assume, yikes. I didn't mean to give you that type of question. If I was giving it to you in hours, I guess I should have said rate per hour. So I'm going to go and do that per hour, and hopefully you can learn from that. I apologize. So in 1 hour, so I'm going to divide by 5, and then 180 divided by 5 is 36. So I guess theoretically, I could have given you, like you could say 24 hours isn't a day, but that's a typo. I'll fix that for next time. So 1 hour will give us 36 quarts of ice cream. Number 11.